Wake up! Wake up!
Wake up, wake up, it's time to rise and sing the praise of Jesus. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
It's time to
To
rise,
rise, to sing, to shout, to bring him all your heart. He'll do the bigger part if you will only make a start. It's time to give him all your heart, and only you can make a start.
Wake up!
Have you ever witnessed a race wherein the finish line depends on the point wherein the runner have already signified to have done their best? Meaning, it's not about crossing the line, but doing our best, and the line goes to us and proclaim us as the worthy winners. To catapult a greater intrigue, it's even a race that everybody wins. Well, what kind of race is this? Friends, this is our greatest quest in our 7 minutes with God today, and you will be joined by your humble online inspirational evangelist, Brother Noy Gonzaga, as we dissect through this race that may have even one of the most unique rules in terms of its finish line. Before we uncover this kind of race, let us first put in the key to our ideation this moment. Hebrews 12:1-2 mentioned, "Let us run with perseverance the race marked for us, fixing our eyes on Jesus." A common track and field race is very strict with its rules. You have to start before the line intended as preparation line. You have to position in a runner's preparation in order to have a sudden burst of speed, and you have to wait for that gun to signify the start of the race. A lane is followed so that there will be no hindrances and crossovers, with the greatest aim to touch the ribbon or the rope extended horizontally at the finish line. Whoever touches it first, even in the differences of milliseconds, will be proclaimed winner. Now, in these races that we see in the Olympics, Asian Games, SEA Games, and other international competitions, usually the second placer is not as worthy and appreciated as the first placer, and so much so with the third and the other lower placers. Yet, we have to realize that the time advantage may sometimes be just a fraction of a second. That is how practical life sprints and professional races are being handled. If you noticed, it will take only 9 to 11 seconds to finish a 100-meter dash race. After that, other finishers will not have the prestige as the ones who finish on top. Usain Bolt holds the record for men's 100-meter sprint with 9.58 seconds. Florence Griffith Joyner set the world record for women with 10.49 seconds. Very fast records. Yes, the winning capabilities in this world are so limited, and that is why people have to scramble their way to the top and at times do even the irregular and the illegal just to secure the topmost reward. Friends, there is another race in life wherein people or participants doesn't have to start all together at the same time, and they are not also expected to finish at one finish line for a winner to be proclaimed. In this race, one signifies that he will join anytime he understands the rules and commit to follow the rules. After that, he or she will start his or her own race. And what will be required of this person or this runner or this participant is only to do his or her best and start the run. If the point came that the best was already given with all honesty and diligence, they just have to look up, and someone up there will come and present the finish line rope in front of that runner, where the runner will touch to signify that he or she finished the race, and all that can touch that finish line ropes are considered co-equal winners of this race. Yes, this is a race of just doing one's best and waiting for the rope bringer and formally touch the finish line rope and be proclaimed a true winner. This is for everybody to win. This race is quite unique. What is this race then? Well, this is the race we call eternal life. Man will start the race the day he will understand the rules of the race, which is the doctrine engraved in the Bible. When the rules are already understood by heart, the race starts and we run, not in minutes, but in faith. We do our best, and it is God who judges if we are already doing our best. That will then be the time that God's angels will usher the finish line rope to us, and from then on lift us and aid us towards that heavenly home, the real finish line of our faithful races in life. What is then the significance of doing our best and waiting for God to intervene for us to reach the finish line? Well, that is grace. Remember, in the race to eternal life, we are all running with faith, and God proclaimed that even the person with the greatest faith will never finish the race and reach the eternal finish line if not for the grace of God. The act of God helping the faithful runner reach that heavenly finishing point. Unique, isn't it? But that is the greatest design of our salvation. It is a race, but not a race against another person. It is a race with our own lives, our own diligence, our own commitment to God, and our own faith that will be judged one day if it is worth the grace of God augmented to it for you, for me, to be carried through by God to the finish line. Yes, dear friends, this is our own race. This is our own decision. This is our own speed. And this is our own honesty if we are doing our best in this race of faith. God is just waiting for us to start the race, because one day soon, all these races will be stopped already, and there will be a close of probation for all the runners who are aiming to end up in that wonderful finish line, which is heaven, and experience a life of continuous winning we call eternal life. Dissecting the elements of this race of eternal life, one should know that the end point is called salvation. So our race is salvation by grace through faith that works. Meaning, we reach the finish line by doing our best, yet it won't still be enough. But the important thing is, God has seen that we have done our best, and He will do the rest from that point on. Because there can never be any human who can finish the race towards salvation, not needing God's ultimate grace. That is the spiritual reality of the race that we are still endeavoring to finish until now. The great question is, has God seen already that we have done our best? Is it time for God to augment our spiritual endeavors with His grace that we will be assured of that finish line called eternal life? Well, that question can only be answered by us, and only God can determine if our answers are already enough. In the process of doing the race, we might experience hardship and great challenges. However, our greatest hope is when we do our best and when answers aren't enough, there is always Jesus. Friends, join us in meditating upon this song interpreted by one of my esteemed and favorite students, DJ Inapan.
Faced the mountains of desperation. You have climbed, you have fought, you have won. But this valley that lies coldly before you casts a shadow you cannot overcome. And just when you thought you had it all together, you knew every verse to get you through. But this time all the sorrows broke more than just your heart, and reciting all those verses just won't do. When answers aren't enough, there is Jesus. He is more than just an answer to your prayer, and your heart will find a safe and peaceful refuge. When answers aren't enough, He is there. Instead of asking why did it happen, think of where it can lead you from here. And as the pain is slowly easing, you will find a greater reason to live your life triumphant through the tears. When answers aren't enough, there is Jesus. He is more than just an answer to your prayer, and your heart will find a safe and peaceful refuge. When answers aren't enough, He is there. When answers aren't enough, there is Jesus. He is more than just an answer to your prayer, and your heart will find a safe and peaceful refuge. When answers aren't enough, He is there. When answers aren't enough, He is there.
Wake up, it's time to rise and sing the praise of Jesus. Hallelujah, hallelujah. It's time to rise, to sing, to shout, to bring Him all your heart. He'll do the bigger part if you will only make a start.
Wake up!